Hey guys, so I experienced something today and I'm mad, and I feel like I need to speak on it because I'm mad and I'm trying to not be mad. And while it was happening, I was using my Gogi tools, right? I was using my belly breathing and I was doing okay. But here's the situation. So I'm in a Denny's this morning, right? And it's very busy. It was busy. And I sit down to eat, and I look over to my right, and there's an older gentleman, an elderly gentleman sitting there. And I watched, and he sat there, and everybody was ignoring him. And it looks like maybe he got a menu, but nobody was helping him. And the more I observed him, the more I realized this man was homeless. And, you know, obviously in the state of California, you can't deny service to anybody, right? But nobody was bothering to come up to him or ask him if he even wanted to order. I think they just assumed no. He didn't have any money, right? So, knowing me, I mean, I'm getting upset. I'm getting upset. And then the gal came over, and the little waitress, and I said, so what's the deal with this gentleman over here? Oh, he's not ordering anything. I said, well, did anybody ask him? No. I said, well, you know what? You go ask him what he wants to eat, and I'm going to pay for it. And I would like you to ask him now. And so she's like, okay. So she went over and asked him, and she couldn't understand what he was saying. And so she just looked at me and like put her hands up like this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I get up and I walk over to him and I said, you know, sir, what would you like to eat? I'd like to buy your breakfast for you. And he was hard to hear, but I got that he wanted the all-you-can-eat pancakes. And I'm like, okay, do you want some coffee? And he said, can I? And I was like, of course you can, right? And at that point, I'm getting ready to cry because I'm angry and I'm feeling for this gentleman. And so I find the manager, and I call the manager over, and I said, I'm going to take care of this man's meal. He wants all-you-can-eat pancakes, and he wants coffee. I said, and just FYI, my food's already come. And this man was here before me, and nobody helped him. I would like his pancakes and his coffee to come out as soon as possible. And so, okay, oh, yes, ma'am, oh, we're so sorry. I'm thinking, sorry, my ass. You would have just let this man sit here, right? And everybody's eating around there. And so I sat back down, and I'm eating, and you know what? I'm not seeing any pancakes coming out. And I'm like doing my Gogi breathing again, all right? One hand on my chest, one hand on my stomach. Which one's moving? Well, you know which one was moving? My chest was moving because I was angry, so I was shallow breathing. So I needed to go ahead, let the gut hang out. I did a couple good belly breaths. I pushed my stomach out, cleansing, and it helped me because I was getting that oxygen to my brain. But it didn't help me enough to keep my mouth shut. I called somebody over again, and I said, I need to know where his pancakes are. I need to know where his coffee is. They finally bring it and everything. They don't give him any syrup. How's he going to eat pancakes with no syrup? So I gave him my syrup, and I gave the guy a dirty look who was behind the counter looking at me. And finally, this man ate his pancakes, but you know what? It's all you can eat. He wanted more pancakes. And I was about ready to get up again, and the manager looks at me, he goes, I got his pancakes. I'm thinking, better get his pancakes over here, give him enough pancakes. So he finally came over, gave him, more pancakes and everything, and the man finished his meal. And through his entire meal, this man didn't say anything to anybody. He didn't ask anybody for money. This man had everything put just right on his table. He had himself together, and he was a proper gentleman. This man was homeless, but he was not homeless-minded, okay? And that people looked at him and just assumed he was of no account. And it makes me angry because there were so many people in that Denny's, and every single person ignored him. And I'm not used to seeing that, okay? Granted, I lived a charmed life. I'm not used to seeing that stuff. And it made me mad. And the person I was with got a little embarrassed. And I'm thinking, that's your fault. That's your problem. That's not my problem. I'm embarrassing you because I'm trying to help? There's the door. You came with me. Find a ride home. Because I'm not turning my eye away from this. So after everything was said and done, this gentleman got up, wiped his mouth, came over, hugged me, and said, "Thank you very much." And you know what? It wasn't about that, but this man was a gentleman. I don't care if he was homeless or not. He was a gentleman, and even if he wasn't, he deserves every single right that every other person in this world deserves. Every bit of right, every bit of recognition. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how we treat free people? This is how we treat people that are free in society because they don't have a house? Can you imagine how our men coming home might be treated? Can you imagine how they're even thought about right now? And that makes me so mad because you know what? There are men inside that I know that are better human beings than some of them that are out here. And that would have never allowed that man to sit there without getting something in his stomach. So for anybody watching this, any of my friends, where it bothers you that I put up stuff about prisons, where it bothers you that I put up stuff about Gogi, or bothers you that I am standing up for those who have been forgotten, just like I had no idea. I had no idea. That was a world I never knew. Out of sign, out of mind, out of sight. I didn't know. I know now. I refuse to turn away. And I don't care if every single one of my friends unfriends me. I don't need it. I am who I am. I will always be who I am. And I will never, ever turn aside from what my father taught me, and that is you stand up for the little guy. You help the underdog. You root for them. You be the bully's bully. And I was the bully's bully today because this man was being bullied by management by being ignored. I will be up in everybody's face if that ever happens again. Our men are worthy of another chance. They are earning that second chance, and every man that comes out of prison, they better get respect. They deserve that respect. They have earned it. And I am safer with a lifer who has been paroled than the average Joe off the street. Because what it takes to get paroled is ridiculous. Any of us go up before a parole board and have to speak on our lives and how screwed up we are, we'd never get paroled. These guys have gone through so much self-help to figure out their issues and to prove they are good citizens. That's what it takes to get out. And I will choose them over anybody else any damn day because they give back afterwards. They give back. The rest of us are just, we have no comprehension of what it is to be in prison. None. Except we're all imprisoned in our mind. Every single one of us. On that note, I'm going to belly breathe again and I'm going to go. But we need to be cognizant of our surroundings. We need to look up from our privileged place. And I don't care. When I say privileged, I mean you got a roof over your head. You got a job. You got a car. You don't even have a job. If you got a place to sleep and somebody give you some food, you're privileged. So nobody should ever look past someone else. Do not walk past somebody that's in need. If you have it to give, you give. Even if it's to speak for them. That's what you have to do. That's our obligation. So that's all I have to say. I needed to speak on that. I feel better. But there's so many of those men out there in the world. And I saw a lot of stuff down here in East LA, and I'm not used to it. And I swear, if I lived in a place like that, I'd be screaming and yelling, they'd lock me up. I'd be giving, I'd be trying to feed everybody. But I'm going home to my beautiful San Diego, where I don't see a lot of that stuff. But guaranteed, if I see it or I know about it, I will speak on it. I will do something. And through Gogi, I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to reach out. And I want everybody who thinks that Gogi is a cult or thinks that Gogi is some kind of weird prison thing, it's not. It is not. This community needs it. Every single free person needs Gogi. We need to learn how to deal with the mental prisons we're in. We need to be able to learn how to deal with our past, with the crap we've lived too. And unless we let it go, unless we forgive, unless we claim responsibility for today, unless we are the boss of our brain, do our belly breathing and give ourselves a 5-second light switch, do a reality check and ask what if, we are never going to get to that ultimate freedom. And we all need it. God help all of us. We need it more than they do inside half the time. So I love everybody. I'm sorry for my rant. But everybody that's ever known me my whole life knows I'm like this. And I finally found a way to try to speak on things. And I'm tired of fighting my own demons. I'm tired of burying them and thinking that they'll go away, because they're not going to go away. And I have my ultimate freedom by being of service to others in a little way, if at all possible. So that's it, you guys. I love you all. To all my friends that have been inside and are now out, don't you give up. Don't you ever think you are not inspiring the rest of us. Because I am inspired by every single person inside that I know that's working their ass off, who is ready to come home, but they can't because the CDCR needs this. They need their paycheck. They need to keep him in a little bit longer. Oh, he's not qualified for this, or for this rule, or for this thing, for Prop 57, whatever. No, he doesn't qualify for that. I can't wait for you guys to come home. I'm proud of the guys that are home. And for the prison wives out there and the mothers and daughters, I'm fighting for you. Learn what your husbands learn. Participate in what your husband's doing. Make your relationship stronger. So when he comes out, nobody, no side chick, no little skeezer throwing her stuff around, no one will be able to deter that man from you, because you have learned to be with him and be solid with him and be a leader of the community with him. Nobody can tear that down. So I love you guys. Love you, Gloria. Cochina. Frank, love you too. To everybody. And those who are like hitting block right now, peace. Because I'm good. Bye, guys.